I was a little bit worried when we first got into Mazatlan because, as you can see, it was a little bit rainy, a little bit dreary when we got in, but luckily for us, the weather improved greatly. Okay, we are here in Mazatlan. It's pretty busy. Lots of tours here, excursions. We are gonna go to the little shuttle here that they have to go to the port, and we'll negotiate for. So if you look over here, they got hop on, hop off. All the carnival, you can leave directly from here. But if you want to go into town, you got to take this little shuttle bus that'll take you in. So you also have to kind of account for that on your way back. It's about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to take one of these shuttles. You won't be able to run onto the port if you are late, so make sure you have time for that. And we're off. Going on to adventure through the port here in Mazatlan. Here in Mazatlan, it's mostly a shipping port, as you can see. So they don't want people walking around. We arrived at the port terminal, and we got to walk past these tour groups and find a Pulmonia. Is what we're looking for. Just like in Puerto Vallarta, they have kind of an expensive little town here, shopping town here, where you can buy expensive stuff. But we're moving on out to find some cheaper options. So Mazatlan has what are called pulmonias. They are special taxis that are unique to Mazatlan. As you can see, they are like convertibles. You can either find the big ones that are tread trucks, or you can find the white ones which are like for 2 or 3 people. They cost about $75 to $125 each, and I would highly recommend them because they are a unique form of transportation that you'll only see in Mazatlan. They're called pulmonias because they used to be opposed by the Taxi Association, which said that if you would drive in one of these things, you would get something wrong with your pulmonas, which are your lungs. You would get like some kind of lung disease. But it's just an open-air convertible car, and it's kind of cool to drive in. The cost to rent a Pulmonia on your own in Mazatlan will cost you between $75 and $125 for about 6 to 8 hours, which is all you need for your cruise port, because you do have to be back before 5 o'clock on your Mazatlan day, so make sure that you're back on time. But it's nice because you get to stop and see all the different things. In this place right here, we're over by the Faro, which is the lighthouse. And you can see this restaurant called La Maria, which was one of the first forts, but then they changed it into a restaurant in Mazatlan. Some interesting history can be found in Mazatlan. In 1861, the government of France invaded Mexico, including Mazatlan. It was a 6-year war, but one of the first wins for Mexico was in 1864 when Mexico recaptured Mazatlan from the French government. 2 cannons from that battle have been preserved. One is on a hilltop and the other is at the Mazatlan military barracks. Over here at the military base, you can see the other one that was found underground. It was buried deep inside. So there's 2. There's one up here on the hill and the one down there at the military base. You can see from here, as I pan out, you can see the rest of the city here. Kind of a cool view of the city here. And then over there is the ferry. This ferry over here will go over to La Paz and back. It's about an 18-hour journey. Goes overnight, and you can take your car over there as well. The ferries leave Mazatlan every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday and go to La Paz on the Baja Peninsula. They can be an interesting option if traveling by land. The ferries cost about $100 per person and $225 per car. We are here at the statue of Pedro Infante. Pedro Infante was a Mexican singer, actor here in Mexico, and he's pretty famous. This is a statue to honor him. He was born here in Mexico. Pedro Infante was one of Mexico's best-known singers and actors in Mexico. Think of him like the John Wayne of Mexico. He starred in 60 movies and recorded 350 songs. Pedro Infante was born in Mazatlan. For 50 pesos, which is like $2.50 US, you can go and visit the simple home where he was born. If you've seen the movie Coco, you will definitely see some similarities in Pedro Infante and the Ernesto de la Cruz character. Except Pedro Infante was the real deal Mexican movie star. Also, cool fact about Pedro Infante is that he was an honorary LA County deputy. One of the must-do things in Mazatlan is to travel down the Malecon known as Paseo del Centenario. This beautiful palm tree road that hugs the coast of Mazatlan was built for the 100th anniversary of Mexico. There are many wonderful things to do and see on the Malecon. On Liverpool Street, and of course on Liverpool Street they have a reenactment of crossing Abbey Road here with the Beatles. You have a little phone booth here, and then you have the yellow submarine in the back, so that's kind of cool. Along your way on the Malecon, you'll probably stop by this cave that's called La Cueva del Diablo, which means the cave of the devil. Apparently some people thought the devil lived there, and all sorts of legends regarding the cave has appeared, but the reality is it's just a cave. It has been used for different things like storage and even at one time to hold drunk partygoers, but other than that, it's just a cave. A cool attraction in Mazatlan are the cliff divers. Cliff diving is something associated with Acapulco, but when the tourism got bad in Acapulco in the 1990s, some of the cliff divers started in Mazatlan. The dive is a very shallow reef system. It's kind of crazy, and all they ask for is tips. One of the interesting places in Mazatlan is the Centro Historico. Mazatlan passed a law that said the building fronts could never be changed, so Mazatlan is a snapshot of the early 1900s in many places. Like many Mexican cities, the plaza is the center of activity for the Centro Historico. On the corner of the plaza you will find the Mazatlan Cathedral, whose official name is Catedral Basílica de la Inmaculada Concepción. It is a beautiful cathedral with 3 naves which I would recommend visiting. The building started in the 1800s and took 50 years to complete. There are many markets in Mazatlan, but the one that I found the most interesting was the shrimp markets. The ladies there are known as changararas, which means monkey ladies, which comes from the locals making fun of them while they were carrying their shrimp. But the joke's on them, because the changareras have the best shrimp in the state, and the shrimp is what originally made Mazatlan famous. Do not go out of Mazatlan without trying the shrimp. For lunch, we went to a place called La Costa, which is in the hotel zone. Here is where I'd like to tell you an important tip. If you go to a restaurant in Mexico and the menu is in English, you are probably paying too much, or the quality is not that good. Unless you are at a Michelin-starred restaurant, in other words, an internationally recognized restaurant, it will never be that good. And if you are in an internationally recognized place, well, then money really isn't an issue, is it? La Costa was an okay place, but it was definitely a tourist place. The view was nice, but the food was meh. I got a ceviche tostada, and I asked them for their recommendation, and they gave me what they called La Costa Marinera. The ceviche, which was fresh shrimp, was great. La Costa Marinera shrimp, not so great. If I had to do it all over again, I would have seen that English menu and walked out to the beach and find a hut that looked popular, and then bought some of that shrimp. And maybe even rent a brass band for $5 a song. But I still got shrimp, so it wasn't that bad. I just think that the more local the place, the better shrimp you can find. Another view of the baseball stadium, the Deer Stadium, Los Venados. Baseball is more popular than soccer here, which is pretty common in the northwest states of Mexico. As you can see, I really enjoyed my time in Mazatlan, and I think if you go there, you will enjoy Mazatlan as well. I actually did a lot more in Mazatlan, but this video is going on about 10 minutes now, and I think it's a good time to cut this video. So what I'm going to do is, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. But most of all, comment. What was your favorite place in Mazatlan? Have you ever heard of Pedro Infante? If you want to learn more about this area, I will have another video out soon where I will explore the little towns of Mazatlan. And if you want to learn more about the area, I suggest you maybe watch my Baja playlist, where I showcase the entire Baja area. Most of all, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Till next time, happy travels.